Now this deserves a proper Western-style intro. All right, everyone, I finally got my hands on the Huawei Pura X Max, so of course I had to unbox it right away and check it out. And seriously, if you're excited for this one, don't forget to hit that like button. This is honestly one of the phones I've been waiting for the most. My daily driver before this was the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, while the iPhone 17 Pro Max was my secondary device. After spending so much time using traditional slab phones, I really wanted something different, something that unfolds into a larger display but still folds back into a normal-sized smartphone that's comfortable to carry. That's exactly why the Pura X Max caught my attention. The only thing that kept me away at first was the price. The regular Pura X costs around £825, while the Pura X Max jumps to about £1,376, which is a huge increase. Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from techiestreet. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content. Anyway, let's start with what's inside the box. One thing I noticed is that the Pura series packaging doesn't feel as premium as Huawei's Mate X7 lineup. Now let's check the charger. Nice! It includes a 66-watt fast charger. It's a compact adapter with a single USB-C port, and Huawei has always done a great job with chargers. They're small, practical, and already using USB-C, which is definitely the right direction. Meanwhile, brands still shipping USB-A chargers really need to catch up. And honestly, at least Huawei still includes a charger in the box. Some companies don't even do that anymore. Now let's look at the included case. It's the usual transparent case, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan. These kinds of cases scratch easily, and over time, they usually start turning yellow. I'm not even sure if this one will, but the material doesn't really impress me. Personally, I won't be using it anyway. I've already bought another case, although I might even use this phone without one because it just feels that good in the hand. Let me know in the comments, are you someone who always uses a case, or do you prefer going caseless? Normally, I always protect my phones, but this one really makes me want to use it without a cover. All right, let's peel off the factory screen protector. That's always satisfying. It even mentions a free replacement or repair option, which is a nice bonus. And wow, just look at this. The folding design, the proportions, this is exactly what I wanted. It feels amazing. I completely understand why so many people talk about the Pura X Max, even if they think it's expensive. I seriously have to give Huawei credit here. This unfolded shape is exactly what I've been dreaming about. It's almost like carrying a MatPad Mini in your pocket. I remember saying that if Huawei ever made a foldable version of the MatPad Mini, I'd buy it immediately. The only issue back then was the processor. But look at what this phone is using. It's powered by the Kirin 9030 Pro, making it one of the very few foldables with Huawei's top-tier processor. Along with the Mate X7 and Mate 80 Pro Max, this is one of the only foldables that didn't receive a downgraded chipset. That alone makes this purchase feel much more worthwhile. Holding it with one hand, it does feel a little wider than a regular phone, but compared to most foldables, the front display is much more practical. I've always felt that the outer screens on many foldables aren't that enjoyable to use, but this one feels much closer to a normal smartphone. Let's power it on. There it is, the Huawei logo. Under strong lighting, you can notice the crease, but honestly, it's much less visible than I expected. It's really subtle. The white color also surprised me. I originally wanted the orange version, but it was sold out everywhere. Luckily, I managed to grab the white model before it disappeared too. And after holding it in person, I actually think it looks fantastic. Plus, it comes with a triple camera setup, which is great. Huawei has really done an impressive job with the overall design. At first glance, the front still looks a little unusual, but once you spend some time with it, it's far more practical than many other foldable phones. Even the rounded corners blend together nicely. Once unfolded, this aspect ratio just feels perfect. All right, let's finish the setup and spend some time using it. So after using the Pura X Max for a full day, I can honestly say I'm loving it. Every time I unfold it, it feels like I'm holding an iPad mini, and that's such a cool experience. It's basically like carrying a compact tablet everywhere you go. Some people might ask, why not just buy a phone and a tablet separately? But honestly, after using this, I don't think that combination is as convenient. What I really wanted was a foldable phone that fits in my pocket while still giving me a tablet-like experience whenever I need it. That's something a separate phone and tablet simply can't match. It's incredibly portable, and the folding mechanism feels smooth and comfortable to use. After spending almost a full day with it, I noticed something interesting. When using it folded, it almost feels like holding a TV remote. That might sound strange, but once you get used to the proportions, it actually becomes very natural and surprisingly comfortable. Then, when you unfold it and watch videos in landscape mode, the experience is incredible. It almost feels like holding a small handheld gaming console. You can comfortably watch videos with one hand, and the display proportions are just right. The bezels at the top and bottom are also impressively slim. Before this, I thought the closest experience came from another compact device, but its bezels were noticeably thicker. This one feels much more refined and premium in the hand. And if you ever feel limited by the smaller outer display, all you have to do is unfold it. Instantly, you have a much larger screen that delivers a tablet-like experience. It genuinely looks and feels like a mini tablet, and that's exactly why I'm so impressed with this aspect ratio. I've always wondered why more companies never designed a foldable like this. It's ideal for watching videos, perfect for gaming, and once you rotate it horizontally, the viewing experience feels just right.
The outer display is actually really enjoyable to use too. That said, there's one thing worth mentioning. It isn't the easiest phone to handle with one hand. Most of the time, you'll naturally end up using both hands. The experience is actually pretty similar to holding a Kindle or another e-reader. It's comfortable, but using it one-handed for long periods can feel a little awkward. Now let's talk about HarmonyOS 6.1 because this is where things get really interesting. Compared to HarmonyOS 6.0 on the Mate 80 Pro, the difference is huge. Back then, I felt app compatibility was still a weak point, but with version 6.1, it's finally reached a level where I'd happily use it as my main phone every day. One of the biggest improvements is tablet support for WeChat. That completely changes my experience for me. Before, I always had to choose between using Android or HarmonyOS as my primary device. Now I don't have to. My Xiaomi 17 Ultra can still keep my main WeChat history, while the tablet version on the Pura X Max stays logged in as well. That means I can carry both phones without them getting in each other's way. Either one can be my main phone or my backup whenever I want. It's incredibly convenient, and I no longer have to worry about waiting for chat history to sync. Honestly, this solves a lot of the problems I had before. As for WeChat compatibility, I haven't run into any issues at all. Overall, it's much more polished than the version I used on the Mate 80 Pro Max. 6 months have passed and HarmonyOS has improved a lot. Right now, I don't really notice any major flaws in the system. The software experience that once felt incomplete has now reached a point where it's not only usable, but genuinely enjoyable. It no longer feels unfinished. Huawei has clearly spent a lot of time refining these features, and it really shows. Battery life, though, is about average. Nothing bad, but nothing exceptional either. On the other hand, choosing the Kirin 9030 Pro for this phone was absolutely the right decision. I think it performs brilliantly. One of my friends also mentioned that this aspect ratio feels much better than traditional large foldables, and I completely agree. Most big foldables open into something that's simply too large. Personally, I wanted a device that's bigger than a regular phone without becoming oversized, and this size is exactly what I was looking for. What's even better is that this phone basically gives you 3 different experiences. Don't think of it as just a tablet. Fold it up, it's a regular phone. Rotate it vertically, and it feels like a larger phone. Open it completely, and it becomes a compact tablet. That's exactly the balance I wanted. A normal-sized phone when needed, and a bigger display whenever I want more screen space. I don't need a giant 10-inch display or a massive foldable. For me, that's unnecessary. Just look at how natural it feels in portrait mode. Everything flows smoothly, the transitions are seamless, and the proportions are excellent. Honestly, I think I'll keep using this foldable for a long time, probably until Apple's foldable iPhone eventually arrives. Now let's talk about the cameras. The photography experience is actually very solid. It includes both telephoto and macro capabilities, which is a huge plus. The main camera is also well-rounded. Image quality is good overall. There aren't any major weaknesses, and while it may not be revolutionary, it's definitely more than good enough for everyday photography. A lot of people have also been asking about the design, so here's my opinion. I think this is a really versatile looking phone, and the white version is actually much nicer in person than I expected. Another thing worth mentioning is the crease display. Huawei doesn't make a big marketing deal out of it, but honestly, they probably could. During normal use, I completely forget it's even there. If you tilt it under certain lighting, you can catch the reflection, but while using the phone, it's basically invisible. Instead of brands constantly claiming their crease has disappeared, Huawei quietly delivers one that's genuinely hard to notice. When it's unfolded, it simply looks like a compact tablet. There is one small downside when watching videos in landscape mode. The stereo speakers are placed diagonally, one at the top and one at the bottom, rather than both on the same side. If you're holding it with your left hand, it's usually fine because you won't block the speakers. But if you grip it differently, especially with your right hand, there's a chance you'll cover one of them. So that's something you should know. I've also seen people saying the speakers don't sound very good, so I decided to compare them directly with the iPad mini 7. Comparing it to another phone wouldn't really be fair, but comparing it to Apple's compact tablet makes much more sense. So let's listen to the sound quality together. After using the Pura X Max for about half a day, I honestly feel it's close to being the perfect foldable, if you ignore the extremely high price tag. It comes with the Kirin 9030 Pro, delivers strong overall performance, and the display proportions are exactly what I've always wanted. On top of that, the overall user experience has reached a very high standard. I'm planning to keep using this phone for the long term, so let me know if you'd like to see a full in-depth review. If that's something you're interested in, make sure to follow the channel and stay tuned. I bought this phone with my own money, so everything I'll share comes from my real experience. Personally, I'm genuinely impressed with it. There's so many things to like, and I honestly struggle to find major complaints. But if you have any questions, concerns, or anything you'd like me to test, leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer everything. And if there's anything that surprised you about this phone, tell me that too. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!